Hello, everyone. Thank you and welcome. And thank you to MnConnect for giving me this opportunity to talk to you all, guys. So we learned from Chakra about sustainability. So I just want to take a small sidestep, if you will, to define sustainability in my own words. What does sustainability mean for me? For me, it means the ability to survive and thrive without depleting our natural resources, and also making sure that our future generations can also survive and thrive on those resources. And now the next topic, as Chakra mentioned, he gave us those charts and graphs. Why is sustainability an important topic today? As you saw, we can talk about the data and articles and scientific material about the ocean temperature rising by a degree and a degree and a half by 2030 and so on. For me, sustainability, why is it important? Because the month of June in Minnesota was 90 plus degrees for so many days with smog, Canadian wildfires, air quality alerts. What does that mean? We need to do something. This is an important topic. We need to talk about this. So the next question is, now we have talked about sustainability and the importance of sustainability. As Chakra mentioned, agriculture has a part. What does the energy sector play a part into this whole mix? Because I represent Xcel Energy, or I work for Xcel Energy. As you can see in this chart, the energy sector is about 70% in terms of greenhouse gas emissions, which is leading to the global climate warming and global temperatures. That's a lot. Do we need to do better? We need to. Do we think we need to make a change? Even small changes in this sector can make a big difference to the global warming. So I think we need to do better. So the next question comes, how are we going to address this problem? What are we going to do? Or at least not make it worse for the next generations? In my mind, it's going to take some innovative thinking, out-of-the-box thinking, new ideas, innovation, and some process improvements as well. So what is innovation? Innovation is basically, in my mind, ideas put into practice that builds new products and services to the betterment of humanity or humankind, and in this case, our planet, right? And improvement is basically just using the same. So now, when we talk about innovation, we have blue ocean innovation and red ocean innovation strategies. Let's quickly talk about those two. What is blue ocean? Blue ocean strategy or innovation is where you are going into a new marketplace, a new market space, new product. So you have no barriers to entry. You have no competition. And your value add is just brand new for the people. What is red ocean? Red ocean is competing in the same market space where other competitors exist. So there are barriers to entry. You're primarily basically competing in price or some features to the existing product. Now, when it comes to Xcel Energy or utilities, we are not competing. We are a regulated utility. So we are not competing with any other utility. But we can build upon what other utilities have done to make improvements and make it better for Xcel and the Xcel's community at large. So that's what I would call Xcel's red ocean strategy. So now let's next talk about, to just give you an example, what are the innovations that have happened? To just take an example, in the past, when we built the telephone, that's an invention. But when we got the new wireless phone, that is an innovation. And smartphone is also an innovation, right? So before we go back here to innovations, now that we have talked about sustainability, the importance of sustainability, and how we're going to solve the problem, how does Xcel Energy fit into this mix? Let's just take a small detour here. So Xcel Energy serves 8 states. We have about 3.7 million electricity customers, 2.1 million gas customers. And we are nationally recognized in wind energy, energy efficiency, using innovative technologies and storm restoration. And I'm going to keep the carbon emissions one out because we ourselves, for sustainability, have put out, one of the first utilities put this broad goal for us, which is being carbon-free, having carbon-free electricity by 2050, with an interim goal of reaching that 80% by 2080. Where are we today? As you can see, 2019 we were 44%, and the recent results show we are about 50 to 55% of the goal there. So that's our broad vision in terms of sustainability. Now let's talk about what are our sustainability goals and mission. Our mission is to provide safe, clean, and reliable energy at a competitive price to our customers. And what are our other goals? Some of our other goals are to strengthen our communities, create a create a best-in-class workforce, and operate with integrity. Now let's talk about what has Xcel done so far. Where are we at in terms of sustainability? So I want to talk about some of the process improvement efforts that we have taken, some of the red ocean efforts that we have undertaken or are going to get in flight, and finally the exciting ones, the blue ocean ones. So in terms of process improvements, we are now actively using drones to do high altitude inspections on our transmission lines, which has reduced the risk of accidents and increased efficiency. We've also now in the process of adding QR codes to all of our assets. So that when the crews go near the assets like breakers, transformers, and poles, they can all get all the details about that particular asset and their health. So those are some of the process improvements we've done. In terms of red ocean strategies, which is basically building upon what we already have in the marketplace, we are entering into the EV charging market. We are partnering with ChargePoint and Electrify America and other companies to build charging stations. Why are we doing that? We are doing that so that we can increase the availability of charging stations and hence increase EV adoption or speed up the EV adoption. What is the second one? Second one is advanced grid intelligence security, as Molly mentioned. That is a red ocean strategy. Some of the other utilities, Duke and Exelon, have done that. What are the components of advanced grid and what are we doing in that? In advanced grid intelligence and security, we have enabled advanced energy management capabilities so that we can save power. Or the transmission lines, we used to have power losses. Now, with these systems in place, we can actively optimize the voltages over the line so we have less power loss. In addition, we've also enabled capabilities of fault location and tolerance. We have introduced high level of redundancy and reliability and resiliency into the grid. How did we do that? By these systems in place, now when we know that there is a line that is broken, we get notified the exact lat-long location of that line so we can go quickly to restore that. But at the same time, with the redundancy that we have, we can route the power through other ways so that the community, the customer at the end of the day, does not experience an outage. Additionally, as Molly mentioned as well, we are in the process of deploying our AMI meters, the smarter meters. So now we can communicate to the meter and the meter can communicate back to us. Before these smarter meters, we used to get a reading from the meter, the previous meters, once a day. Now, these data collectors are giving us readings every 15 minutes. So we are getting 96 times the volume of information about the customer. Just think about that for a second. The volume of data that is coming into Xcel is humongous. Now, with that, what are we going to do with that data? We have to house that data, analyze that data, and generate analytics out of the data and actionable items. Now, that's all red ocean. So I'm going to now switch my focus into blue ocean strategies. The first one I will mention is a little bit on the line, the small modular reactors. We have formed a partnership with NewScale, a company that has built smaller, safer, cleaner, more efficient, and lower risk modular nuclear reactors. We are piloting that in Utah. And the reason I say this is a little bit of a blue ocean, red ocean is because we have 40 plus years of experience in running nuclear plants, or nuclear generators, at Prairie Island and Monticello. So we are going to bring that expertise as the operator of these small modular reactors. So small modular reactors may be a little bit more blue ocean, but our role in that is more on the red ocean side. A couple other ones, exciting ones. Iron air batteries. We have formed a partnership with Form Energy to put together two plants, or two instances of these 100-hour batteries, one in Colorado and one in Minnesota. These with a capacity of 100 megawatts or 1,000 megawatts per hour. Why are batteries so important, you may ask? Hold on to that thought. We'll come back to that in a second, or a few minutes. The second one is clean hydrogen. We're also forming a pilot with Idaho National Labs and with grants from Department of Energy to produce clean and green hydrogen via high temperature steam electrolysis. So this is going to be carbon-free electricity generating the steam in our nuclear plant, Prairie Island, and then using that, we're going to generate hydrogen. So these are some of our blue ocean strategies that we have in place or are going to be coming through. Now, after talking about all of these, let's take a stock of the situation. What have we benefited or what have we reaped in terms of benefits with all these efforts in flight? So similar to, as Chakra mentioned, 500,000 metric tons of carbon emissions saved, we have reduced our carbon emissions by 145,000 tons over the last 3 years. We have reduced our truck rolls, 28,000, for meter reading and other aspects, which again essentially means lower fuel burnt, lower gas emissions. We've increased our reliability for our customers, having lower outages or outage restoration times. We have saved 10 million minutes of customer outages. And then with the voltage optimization that we are able to do with these systems, we are able to reduce the cost of energy, fuel, by 32 million. And then also with Aegis, we are increasing our transparency with our customers. So customers have the visibility into their usage patterns so that they can tweak their usage and hence save energy for them and the invoices or the bill as well. So where do we go from here? What's our next challenge? So my utopian vision, just mine, would be if we could have a battery big enough and strong enough that can charge quick enough that can power a normal American standard home for 30 days. And which would have all kinds of dials and metrics to say, customer, your battery is running low, or your consumption just increased, how can you turn it down? And when the battery is low, you take it out, go to the store, swap it out, and bring it back in, plug and play, a subscription service. Now for that to happen, we have a challenge. I'm hoping that we have enough research and investment into this so we can kind of follow the Moore's law for integrated chips, wherein we double the capacity of the battery, reduce or half the time it takes to charge every 2 years. That's the challenge. So now, coming back to, as I said, hold on to that thought about batteries. Why are we talking about batteries? You know, in the past, Xcel Energy had a few sources of energy, coal, burning coal, gas, or hydroelectric. But they were consistent, they were reliable. Now in this new world, we have renewable sources. So on a blue sky day, where it's nice, windy, sunny, our wind power and solar power can meet the demands of the customer, but also could be beyond that demand. Now think about other days, when it is stormy, cloudy, we might not generate enough power to meet the demand of the customer. So there is a gap. So what do we need to do? We need to capture the surplus and store it so that we can call upon that when the need arises and when we are not producing enough. So that's why the battery discussion is important. Now think about all of this, and now as Chakra mentioned, you know, all the models and everything else, we have a similar complexity as well. In the past, we used to forecast our demand and energy use or need on a 24-hour basis. But now, we have to do it on an hourly basis because all the renewable sources are coming into the mix. And think about the complexity that not only that it is the forecasting models, but we have to switch back and forth between these sources. And how is that going to happen? Technology. Technology plays a big part. And as Chakra mentioned, it's an ecosystem where we partner with Microsoft, Oracle, Itron, Schneider Electric, Amazon, all those big partners. And then also take help from our system integrators like Accenture and IBM and Ernst & Young, and then local consulting firms as well. Now, what is the call to action? In my mind, the call to action is on two fronts. One, we need focus, energy, research, investment into energy battery systems or storage systems, which we already talked about. But also on the second one, which is energy sources. So I'll leave you guys with 3 ideas, and then we can discuss that further at a later time. The first one is tidal power. This is showing some exciting or some positive results, which is utilizing or implementing turbines in the oceans or large lakes to harness the wave energy to produce power, which would be consistent. The second one is blade-less turbines. If we can invest enough research and development to see if these are also sustainable. And finally, I will leave you with the controversial one, which is offshore wind turbines. Can we take this opportunity to evaluate from our European counterparts where they have implemented offshore wind turbines and learn from them and see if this is an untapped opportunity since we have one of the largest lakes in the world? With that, I will say that at the end of the day, for Xcel to meet its goals and commitments, it's going to need technology. It's going to need partnerships and help from the community. And I think we can and we will meet those goals. Thank you.